Oh my God.
Welcome to the Power Hour. I am Steve, and I am the butler and bag holder to the urban sensation Steve Red, because apparently this is the C Red show, and I just carry the bags on this broadcast.
Look, just because one person who I respect and
hold
love,
a candle to you, Red. I can't hold a candle.
you know, I'm
You shut up and let you do the whole damn thing. You book the guests. You do the talk.
that's tomorrow. That's tomorrow night. That's tomorrow night when I have a whole lot to say.
Anyway, welcome to the show. And tonight we are very pleased to be joined by Mr. Made for TV, 1/3, or should I say 1/4, maybe 1/5. There could be other Sin City Playboys, but this is one of the sinnest of the Sin City Playboys. This is Mr. Made for TV, Tully Bertorelli. Pronounce that name right, damn it, ginger bastard. That's a shout out to our ring announcer, by the way. Hello, Tully. How are you?
Pretty good. Pretty good. How are you guys doing?
Oh my God, I couldn't be better if there were two of me, and that would be a sizable situation, to be sure.
The lies you tell.
Lies we tell. That's wrestling, though. It's all about lying. Anyway, Tully, how the hell you been? I haven't seen you in a month of Sundays and then some.
Pretty good. Just training a lot, just getting ready for the June show and everything like that. Been watching my tapes. Every other week I hear we have new opponents. So I don't know if we're either seeing first it's Jared Grippy, then he's out, then it's Gunner Brave, then he's out, then there's these guys called Country Air, and then it was supposed to be the Brave Army. Just bring them all in.
Now, do you think it's fear of the dominance that the Sin City Playboys displayed in October that have people a little skittish on actually signing that contract? Or do you think it's just, wrestling and, sometimes you get the cards subject to change?
A little bit of both, probably.
Well, to your knowledge, who are you fighting? I want to see what you know, and then I'll tell you what I know, and we'll see if we're on the same page here.
I don't know nothing.
So supposedly it's a 6-man tag, which that was already done, taken. I already knew that.
There would have to be 3.
Supposedly Gunner Brave's got two new guys with him, and their names are Doc Simmons and Zach Hendricks.
Now, the way you're speaking about Zach and Doc makes me think that maybe you don't know Country Air. Is that correct?
I know the name. I know of Zach Hendricks. I don't know his partner as well.
Country Air. They are quite the enigma of a tag.
Real quick, someone wanted to know, is it an airplane deal? Do they have their own airplane that they swoop fly in? Country Airs like that?
Of course Solomon wants to know that. So I'm going to answer Solomon. No, I do not believe they own an aviation company, but they do own very hellacious finishing moves, and they are one tough sumbitch of a tag team. I watched them take CSW champions, the Bruise Brothers, to the wall. I was very impressed when I watched them fight, and it made me look like a genius as general manager, booking them for a show. So when I heard John Bullard and Gunner Brave decided to bring them in to deal with you, if you watch tape on Country Air, they present some very interesting matchup problems for the Sin City Playboys.
So you're telling me that there's worth a shot? I mean, have you seen the cash outs? Do we all remember what happened in October?
I mean, listen, I'm not taking any. I mean, we all know the Sin City Playboys. They dominate. I mean, if one team dominated the GrappleMasters 1 back in October, it's got to be the Playboys, because Bo was out there seemingly every 5 minutes, and victories were happening about every 20 minutes for you guys. So
3-0, Steve. 3-0.
I got nothing. Well, maybe it's 2 1/4. I don't know if you can really call
3-0.
I mean, I'm not
3-0.
for the banana in the tailpipe this month. It's not going to happen. You're not Axel Foleying me out of a match, Johnny Nye, this time. You're going to have to pay the piper. But you did have if anybody had a great October, it was Sin City Playboys, and you guys looked great. and you guys were dominant and you fought hard and you're very impressive to watch. Just go on Amazon Prime and rack up GrappleMasters and you'll see what I'm talking about. Nobody dominated. Even C Red and Miles didn't dominate quite the way the Sin City Playboys did, although that beatdown after Miles and Yo-Yo's match was pretty definitive, that's for sure. So you're coming into this thing in a 3-man tag, you, Johnny Nye, and Solomon Stone with Bulletproof Bo running around ringside against Gunner Brave, who took Johnny Nye to the wall. Can we at least agree that Gunner Brave, in very short notice, did yeoman's work against the extremely talented Rockstar?
Oh, no doubt about it. He has a place in the Chicagoland Championship roster. Now, can he defeat Johnny Nye? We saw in October that wasn't the case.
Certainly 0-1. Certainly 0-1.
And as I know, what Bo Anderson with Entourage Limited has given us gyms and places to train at. And I know Johnny Nye has been trained thoroughly, and rewatching that match and picking the mistakes that he mistakenly did. But Johnny Nye is no coward when it comes to professional wrestling. He is an amazing leader.
There's no doubt. Johnny Nye is a special kind of talent, and he proved that in October. Well, now you bring in Enter Country Air. Doc and Zach come in here, and obviously Johnny is pretty familiar with Gunner Brave. But you guys, you and Solomon may have to do a little research in the next week, because you guys are very good at the ground and pound. You can extricate a wrestler from their boots fairly efficiently with the raw strength you possess. Same thing with Solomon Stone. But Country Air, very fleet of foot, can do a lot of very impressive aerial maneuvers, and they get around that ring very quickly. To me, that might be playing against your strength, because if you got to catch them to put them down, and will you be able to catch them before they do damage to you? That's the question I have to ask.
Say again, what's your question?
Question is, you got to catch them. How do you do that?
Just get the right place at the right time. I mean, there's a good phrase: the bigger they are, the harder they fall. And if you look at Solomon and I, we're two big behemoths. When I see a picture of Zach Hendricks, he looks like a medium-sized dude. Then I look at his partner. And Red, how tall is Doc, by the way?
I don't know.
He looks like a tiny dude. I'm about 285, 6'2". I can bench press probably 315 about 11 times. I mean, those are just a little bit of the strengths I have for little people, for the high flyers out there. Like, I can easily catch them and squash them like little bugs. I don't want to quote movies like Rocky IV and be like, I will break you. But if I have to, in June, I will have to break them in half.
Suddenly the Sin City Playboys have become Ivan Drago Incorporated. That will be interesting, though. What I meant when I said that is you're right. As far as size goes, you guys certainly have them by significant, both in height and weight. But they are, they're very, very good ring mat technicians, and they are very quick, and their movements are sudden. And if you get lost in that match trying to find them, that could be a disaster for the Sin City Playboys.
You're telling me these guys are like the Mighty Ducks are going to bust out a flying V or something like that?
I'm just saying that maybe when Cobra Kai is said and done, Daniel wins again.
Well, let's see if they sweep the leg, Johnny. Okay.
They may just sweep that leg. But like I said, I'm not saying these things to put a pox or to speak negatively about the Sin City Playboys. I mean, you guys are bad to the bone, and anybody who watched GrappleMasters 1 knows that you guys go into this match heavily favored. But the never say die attitude of a Gunner Brave, who is one of the brightest stars in the wrestling galaxy right now, and the very, very technically savvy Country Air. I just look at that match and I'm like, you guys, if you aren't familiar with your opponents, it's one of those things, perfect preparation equals perfect performance. But if you're not perfectly prepared, this could be an upset in the making. I don't know what the Vegas odds are. Maybe we need to get in touch with Solomon and see what the odds are in Vegas on this match. Are you at all nervous that you're not familiar with these guys, or is it all elementary to a guy like you? You're going to catch them, smash them, just like you did in October.
Well, first off, I did been doing a little information. When I first heard the name Country Air, I did do a little research. I know they're very rarely recognized in the Wisconsin scene. So they're not just two people put together and have a catchy name and everything like that. I've seen their technique. I've seen their work, and I appreciate it. You know, I can also see what they lack, which I've not seen spoken on behalf or anything like that for their upcoming match for. So maybe they don't know how to show the charisma, but actions speak louder than words. So we will definitely see June 12th what will happen against the Sin City Playboys and Country Aaron.
How great is
What's
it?
his name? Gunner Brave.
How great is it to be in the Sin City Playboys? I mean, you look at that lineup of guys. Solomon Stone is a physical specimen. He is a poet on the microphone, and he is vicious in the ring. You got Johnny Nye. He's 6'2" talent. Sing, dance, wrestle, grapple. He can do it all. And then there's you, Tully, the man with the most photogenic face in CCW, plus a man that if he touches you will crush you and make you fold like a Budweiser lawn chair. And that's all being run by the master manipulator, Bo Anderson. I mean, is there anybody better right now as a faction than the Sin City Playboys?
Well, if they want to prove that they're better, then step up to the plate. That's all I have to say.
And now I give you C-Red.
Give me foe.
Well, you're in a pretty impressive faction too. Speaking of factions, and you know, it's be hard to beat the Sin City Playboys. So what says the leader of the ARC, a team that we don't even know how many people are there? So I mean,
that's the whole point. You get no tea today, Steve. No, you don't. That's tomorrow. That's
gotcha.
Tomorrow.
So, Red, speaking as a manager, I mean, you know, you've known Tully a while. You know the Sin City Playboys.
I've known Tully forever.
Right, and
yeah,
you know,
it's been a long time.
And these are the moments that I like. And you know, today on social media, somebody called this show out for what it is. C-Red has been in this business for 2 decades, damn near, and he knows everybody, and he's respected by everybody. And he's a versatile talent manager. We all know, you know, C-Red, you know, can line up his accolades. We know them pretty well. And then there's me, who's, you know, kind of Johnny come lately, shoots his mouth off in a podcast. So we all know the part of the show that people like is when C-Red digs deep in the past and talks about the people as they came up. It seems like C-Red has either had training or has trained most of the people we have on this show. So I would like C-Red to share an old Tully story, because I know a lot of the new Tully stories. In fact, I had Tully paint my face on my old show.
I saw that.
Yeah. You like that, Red?
Hey, I got a good laugh out of it that night, you know.
Of course you
First
did.
of all, let's address the elephant in the room again. You are here's the thing. We are, and we joke about it off air as much as we joke about it on air. We are Paul McCartney and Michael Jackson podcast.
I no doubt about that. I was gonna say that.
You know, so again, I just think we gel well together. We love each other. We hate each other. At the end of the day, we try to give the people the most information and the best information out there that I'm not going to say they necessarily wouldn't get somewhere else. But again, we do it with our own unique style and flash. And again, people have to remember a year ago, we had a studio.
We did. It was there. That's right. I got my face by
I know, but you know, and I think a lot of people think that, you know, that this was easy to transition from TV to video podcasting and not being together. That's the one thing that nobody even grasped the concept that I looked forward to uh, Tuesday nights, even though the drive I would be cussing and fussing the whole way. Uh, Texting you while stuck in traffic. Are you there? Um, but miss just seeing you and being with you. Um, so people have to understand. But and I think a lot of people don't grasp the concept that we are so much alike in so many other ways that we've talked about that again we kind of just blend and mesh and again it works. So this is the Steve Red Power Hour.
Steve Red.
It's not
we're gonna make a shirt and I'm gonna make Tully Bertorelli wear it on TV.
It's not okay. It's not it's never about top billing or any of that. We just do what we do. And ladies and gentlemen, we just pray to God that you watch these podcasts and you're entertained and get information. And if we yell at each other, if we laugh with each other, hell, we even cussed each other. Well, I cussed him out once and left. So
that was an interesting show, but like I said,
yeah. But I mean, at the end of the day, again, we're brothers.
So when's the cop drama gonna air? Ebony and Ivory, huh?
It's coming. It's coming.
It can't now. They didn't already did it. We good. We just want the royalty check.
We're like that movie that was being made in Major League 2, Black Hammer and White Lightning. Remember that?
There we go.
Ebony and Ivory.
We can do that. We can do that. Now, as far as Tully, I mean, God, you want a good Tully story? I mean, the best story I can give you is Tully showing up. So Windy City used to have what we would call fantasy camp. And fantasy camp consisted of an entire weekend where you got a taste of being a pro wrestler. So you had to do all the drills we did. You had to do all the calisthenics. And oh my God, when it was fantasy camp, that's when all the vets show up. Like, where y'all been all this time? Like, where y'all come from? It ain't a show. Anyway, so the one Tully was at, everybody's there. Everybody's there. And Tully walks in and like I looked at him and I'm like, eh. But at the same time, I looked at everybody else and I'm like, So with Tully, I didn't get a sense of like he didn't come off like the other guys. Like there was a genuine humbleness about him, but at the same time, like I wasn't sure, like, okay, he's got the height, he can have the build, is he gonna survive this weekend? And Tully did. With actually more than his athletic ability that surprised me was his ability to cut a promo. And that was so
good.
But it was just the fact nobody else could. Like, so the way we did it, we just told him, you got to wrestle. You're wrestling tomorrow night. Go. And Tully just, I don't know if he went enter WCW, enter WWF, whatever. But you could tell he knew, how to at least approach from a promo. There was one guy and he was like, my name is John and I'm going to be here at the Windy City Arena tomorrow. And it was like, And in the back of my head, I'm like, this is what I'm giving up my weekend for. Like this is it, because everything like led up to them having matches with some of us. So, and then they go in the office and Sam would have a conversation with them. You know, some guys didn't come back. Some guys did Saturday, and guess what? They couldn't cut the mustard, and they didn't show back up Sunday. So, which sucked. But that let us know, you know, again, do you have a heart for this business? So again, Tully impressed me that day. And from that point on, when he signed his contract, you know, Tully was there. Tully was one of the faithful, you know, till abandoned ship. But you know, I have nothing but love and respect for Tully. Um, I ain't too crazy about these whole Sin City Playboys, and you know, and
Oh man,
Entourage.
okay.
Hey, well, I don't like Bo. I mean, I respect them, but you know, we still got me and Bo got in ring business we need to finish.
I put it this way:
Just at some
you
point,
guys go your way, we
you
go
know.
our way.
Oh well, trust me. You know, I know you ready to start the pot, Steve, and that's fine. You know, right now I
We
got
all know the
other.
dream match is the ARC versus the Sim City
No, see
Playboys.
everybody see, and everybody wants the ARC. And do y'all still think I don't talk to Jazz? I don't talk to Marche. I don't talk to Trauma.
Oh, so he may not
I
even
don't
bring
talk
the
to
ARC
Will.
yet. He might bring the soul touches to get you.
I'm not them. I'm just saying
Oh,
people, everybody right now is clamoring for the ARC, which they should. But at the same time,
Red, all I just say, man,
as
is you guys go your way, we go our way, and
I
we
know,
can
but
shake hands.
the co-host over here is stirring the pot like he always does.
Oh, I know.
You
He's
know,
still mad that he's got a little. I think he still has a little makeup on his cheek.
you know what he really is trying to do. What he's really trying to do is see, ladies and gentlemen, let me let y'all on a little secret about Steve. So June 12th, Michigan City, Indiana, Chicagoland Championship Wrestling presents GrappleMasters, right? Everybody's looking forward to it. Sold out, right?
Hold out again. 2, 4,
But if you have paid attention to this show, especially since October, there has been one person that Steve cannot get along with. He has messed up his name. He has accused him of crimes. He has done so much. And the only thing he's done publicly is apologize. So I'm looking forward to June 12th. After I how can I say this in a delicate manner? After I leave Yo-Yo Land and take his woman and make her a real woman,
Oh my.
that's yeah. Um, yeah, I want to see when that person comes out, because they're not going to be focused on the interview. They're not going to be focused on the announcer. They're going to be focused on one person. And I can't wait to see. I might even walk out with him just so I can see the eye contact.
No, that's not going to happen.
Because, ladies and gentlemen, it has been gasoline this whole time. So y'all talk about stirring the pot here.
Announcer,
Anyway, okay, Mr. Announcer. Anyway, Tully, what are your favorite memories of Windy City Pro Wrestling?
Ooh, I want to hear that.
Well, fun fact, I remember Windy City. I remember that camp. I also remember when Steve Hammond, you remember Hammy debuted in that camp, was in the same camp with me with Primo Loco. I remember
I love Primo, by the way.
I remember my Red, do you remember my practice match? at all?
Dude, I'm old. Come on now. I can't
Okay, my
remember
bad. I thought
yesterday.
you were like 42.
I wish.
So my practice match was against Steve Boz. Don't ever show up Steve Boz in a practice match because he will chop you. And I love Steve to death, but I remember when he blew up my chest, like he popped my chest open. I remember coming home and my parents were like, "What the heck happened to your chest?" And I look down and I just see like a little blister on my chest. And no one else has been able to chop my chest like Steve Boz. And yes, Mark Shea has some strong chops, but no one can blow up chests like Steve Boz. I remember doing security for Battle of the Belts 18. That was a lot of fun. I remember like it was I think Abyss, and who was working Abyss? Was it Vito? Two Fingers at Battle of the Belts 18? I know you know this more, Red. Red?
Of course I do. Yeah.
Was it Vito and Two Fingers?
Yeah, I just watched it the other night.
Yeah. I remember you can actually see me with actually hair.
No. It was Vito and Monty Brown.
So who was working Abyss that night?
Abyss came in and I don't remember, but he on tape, he jumped he was like a hired hitman for Psycho, and he turned on Ivan Manson and he attacked.
So yeah, they were fighting outside. I remember it was because Frankie Valli did that double table spot where he jumps off.
Yeah, but Frankie had won, but that's when Psycho came out with Abyss and
took it to the outside.
Took everybody out and then said he quit Windy City and he was going with Abyss.
Yeah.
Like that worked out.
Well, if you watch the tape, you'll see me with red-orange hair that day doing a young security guard.
I'm mad, dude, because that's the day Diamond won the title. That match isn't on there. And me winning the Battle Royal is not on there. Like, that sucks. Like,
that's your whole action right there. That's like the Soul Touches people.
So the Cure consisted of Damian Dunn, Devlin Dunn, Marche Rocket, Lord Cassius, Diamond, Faith, and me. So I've always ran in the pack. Always. I don't trust none of y'all. I don't. So the more people I got watching my back, the better. Yeah. Just saying.
Come on,
so,
man.
Hey, I don't trust you. Hey, as much as I don't have an issue with the Sin City Blood Boys, but did you notice their locker room was that way last show?
I did.
I don't trust nobody.
Probably that's why you've been in this business as long as you have.
My locker room, I make sure that my locker room is for me and mine and a select few of others. Otherwise, no. That's why everybody was crammed over on that other side.
Tully, you've worked in this business for quite a while. I mean, you're talking about Windy City, your young days when you were training and security. And I've seen you at a number of promotions, whether you were wearing a gladiator costume or this giant fur rug. You have been the man of 1,000 faces for a long time.
1,001 faces.
1,001. I'm sorry, I missed one.
Yeah, John Bullard did the count the other day.
And now you are here at Chicagoland Championship Wrestling. And what happened in October started something extraordinarily special that you don't see every day, especially in this business. And now here we are coming to our second show, and I can't remember ever hearing of or working for a promotion where a second show was more highly anticipated than this one. And you are one of the feature attractions. You are one of the people that John Bullard brought in first to be one of the pillars of this strong empire that he's building.
Yeah.
Talk to me about how you feel not only about Chicagoland Championship Wrestling, but also about the man John Bullard himself?
I'll put it out this way. I'm very honored and very humble for the opportunity I have, just like I bet you, like you two, to be on this podcast, but also to be part of that Chicagoland Championship Wrestling locker room. I only met John 2 years ago. I think it was 2 years ago. John probably has to correct me and message me. But I'm very honored, very humble that what we have going, and it's just getting better and bigger. With the pandemic, a lot of people are like, how are you guys coming with attraction? I just feel like he's just fitting the right puzzle pieces together. I feel like our first show is like pretty much A New Hope, if you want to go into Star Wars knowledge. And the second show is going to be like Empire Strikes Back.
God, I hope
You
I'm
know?
not cool.
But that's a lot. And here's what, have either one of you even thought of this? How many let's put it to music. Or we can even do TV shows. It doesn't matter. How many times have you heard an artist or seen an artist, and that first one is bananas? It's the business, right?
Yeah.
But that sophomore flop happens, and after
Yeah.
that sophomore flop happens, it's done, you know. And I don't know if anybody grasps the concept. This is a lot of pressure, not
Oh,
only
it definitely is. I mean, the
on-
first show, sorry to interrupt you, Red. The first show definitely gave a little fans of taste of what Chicagoland is. But the second show is definitely going to show, you're right, is if we can hang it more than just a one-hit wonder and everything like that. And I feel like we have talent. John just does, the cool thing I appreciate about John Bullard is it's just not talent from the Chicago wrestling scene. Because Red, just like you and I know of how many times we've been on shows where they have the same guys on the top. You have the always the pre-opening match that's the same one and everything like that. And like somehow it's a different flavor. Maybe it's just because it's a different style that he's combining studio style wrestling with cinematic elements and everything like that. I feel everyone is just drinking the Kool-Aid of the sense of like, holy crap, this is something new, but really it's something new for just an audience, you know?
You know what jumps out at me and what I think is so fascinating. I mean, obviously, you know, you almost hear every other week, John is finding a new lane to a different country or a different promotion, from Louisiana to England to Australia to Canada to Mexico. And you know, he's opening gateways. Puerto Rico. He's opening gateways to send our people and to bring in culturally diverse talent, which I think is genius, because that's, you know, everybody talks about the forbidden door and what's going on TV right now, but that's what's hot in this business. People from different places showing up and doing what they do in different markets, which I think makes wrestling very interesting because you got all the different styles. So I think John was ahead of the curve on that significantly. Number two, I don't remember a show that had a card that was set and then has had to be changed so much, whether it be due to injury, whether it be due to business, whether it be due to logistics. I mean, the show happening on June 12th is still loosely based on the way that it was advertised initially. You're going to get your main Frogun versus the Shogun Chris Logan for the title, and that's going to blow the roof off of Michigan City. But like you said in the open, you're not even sure to this point, and we're a week away, who you're going to actually be fighting, or 2 weeks away, should I say. And then we have the situation with Youth Gone Wild and the Gotch brothers, and now they're fighting Truth Magnum and the Outrunners. And that is, if you've watched anything those guys do.
Oh, I've studied the Outrunners. I've been studying a lot of the tag teams that come through. It's just the cool thing about Chicagoland is you never know what to suspect. And I mean, yes, that's kind of cheek with wrestling, but John Bullard is busting his butt night in and day out, making calls and making the right choices. Because when COVID's done, whenever the pandemic is done, which some people want to believe there was no such thing as the pandemic, the earth is flat or anything like that. But when we can open doors and we can travel, you're going to see some guys that John will send over and do a talent swap. Not all of us will always be on the Chicagoland show. You know, John will send us anywhere he'd like to please because he wants us all to be successful, like a smart promoter should be. You know,
My bags are packed. Y'all tripping because I'll see y'all later. My passport is ready and my bags is packed. So
Red wants to go worldwide. I think what my point was to
Red,
bottom,
you're going to go places. You know that.
no doubt. To bottle the point is, even though we've had some disappointing losses, like, you know, we were all very excited after the way John Hudson debuted in October with one of the promo that shocked the world. For him to not be ready to go, still recovering from his injury, well, that's a big hole to fill in a show. And the Gotch brothers, huge hole to fill. And it just seems like every time something unexpected or unpredicted happens, not only does John Bullard rise to the occasion, but he ups the bar. You lose Gotch brothers, you bring in the Outrunners, which is that match between Youth Gone Wild and the Outrunners is going to be ridiculous. And now, you know,
I'll be watching.
You don't know what he's going to have in store for Chip Walker. Chip Walker is going to be in action on June 12th, and you don't know who he's going to fight. But I guarantee you, John Bullard will have somebody there that you will want to see. And that's the best thing about this company is all of these matches, you want to see them. You want to see Janai Kai kick C Red in the face. You want
happening.
Wow, back to hating Red, man.
You want to see the Playboys going up against Country Air and Gunner Brave. You want to see Marche Rocket facing a member of the Tribunal. You want to see what happens in the saga between No Coast, Paragon, and Jace Thorne. I mean, the stories are epic. The matches are set. And we are 11 days away from not only repeating history, but taking it a step further. And I think that's what makes Chicagoland Championship Wrestling so appealing, is because not only is the storytelling on point, but what goes on in that building is just unbelievable. And if it's half the energy of the first one, there's not going to be a person June 12th that's not going to want to come back in August for the follow-up show. And you better get those tickets because they're flying like hotcakes. I don't think there are that many left for the August show. I think we're pretty close to a sellout again, which is unbelievable.
I'm going to ask Red this real quick. Red, have you ever worked a crowd like that in October?
Of course, but so let me say it like this: yes and no.
That was the thing that made me shocked.
Because you have to remember, yes, I've managed and I've wrestled in front of all types of crowds. I think what this made it different, we were in a pandemic, whether people, you know, like you said, you know, believe it or agree with it or not, you know. And I think for all those people that showed up, first of all, and again, Steve knows that I've said this countless times, when you look at that day and you look at right an hour before we were supposed to open, and the line is out there, and then you look and you see it's raining, and John Bullard decides to not leave his fans in the rain, and he brings them in early. And again, we're still in the pandemic. You know, I honestly, he had every right to say, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry, you know, but he didn't do that. He brought them in.
He ushered them in too.
He sat people in seating pods so people could be safe. You know, so when you think about it, you know, it wasn't easy going out there wondering what this crowd was gonna do. Were they gonna sit on their hands or were they gonna actually actively participate? And Chicagoland Championship Wrestling has some of the best fans in the world. I will stick them up against anybody that I've in Philly, anybody in Chicago, anybody in Wisconsin, anybody in New York, Jersey. I'm sorry. I think we've got some pretty great damn fans. Now, if you want to believe that you've got what it takes, hey, call John Bullitt at Chicagoland Championship Wrestling.
Yeah,
Tell him to bring me over and let me see your crowd. But with only Steve 10 minutes left, I want to ask you a question about Tully
Yes.
or the Sin City Playboys.
Go ahead. I'd be happy to answer it.
You were sitting at commentary.
I was.
And you saw them decimate these two kids.
I did.
Decimate.
No question. That's the best word to describe it.
What was going through your... Now, I'm not taking it away, and we all know the Johnny Nye situation and all of that. But with Solomon and Tully, what did you see that made you say,
I'll be honest, and I don't make this comparison often, and I don't do it lightly, and I'm not doing this here off the cuff. When I watched it, this is what I saw. There were a couple of moments there where I thought I was watching the Hart Foundation. And I mean this in the way that when Solomon and Tully are working in tandem, they're such a well-oiled machine. And when they hit their finisher, the first vision that popped into my mind was the way Brett and Neidhart used to finish their opponents. Not the same move, mind you, but just the way that it looked. And you had the maniacal Tully, who is emphatic and very Jim Neidhart-like, especially that night. If you watch Tully on the TV, on Amazon Prime or anywhere you find Chicagoland Championship Wrestling, there's just that quality to him. And to get that kind of treat that I wasn't expecting, to momentarily feel like I was that 14-year-old kid watching Saturday night's main event, was a moment for me that gave me goosebumps. Now, do I like Bo Anderson? No. Bo and I don't get along, haven't forever. He gives me crap, I give it right back to him. So anything that Bo Anderson is in, I have a hard time complimenting. And I've had my words for Johnny Nye when he was here, and when he's when he's around. I don't speak highly of him often, although I do respect him as a wrestler. He's very talented. But there's just something different about Tully and Solomon when they work a tag match that really is a throwback to what I feel is like the golden age. So I'm not going to sit here and blow smoke up your ass, Tully, because you wrote on my face and I'm still pissed about it. But what you guys did in that ring in October was spectacular and very special.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And you're going to see more of that in October.
I don't doubt it.
October. I mean, June. Wow.
In just 11 days in Michigan City, Indiana, Chicagoland Championship Wrestling presents GrappleMasters. It is the second installment of this fine television show, and you will be able to find it on many of your favorite streaming services in the time to come. You can't come to the show because it's sold out, and it's sold out extremely quickly. And you will see matches with, of course, the urban sensation C Red. You will see matches with Mr. Made for TV, Tully Bertorelli. You'll also see Marche Rocket in action. You'll also see Shogun Chris Logan in action. You'll see the debut of the Frogun, D-Ray 3000. It's a hot night. It's going to be a hot show, and it's going to be a huge seller on Amazon Prime and all the other streaming services when it comes out. I can't wait to hear what the Johns over at the Johners Network say about this show, because they were the loudest trumpeters of our product. So I can't wait. I want this show to be great, just so they're like, wow, you did it again. And I want us to be the Britney Spears of wrestling. Oops, we did it again. But there's no oops. when it comes to Chicagoland Championship Wrestling.
Oops.
Tully, TV.
Yeah.
Talk to me about your thespian career. When C-Red was talking about you cutting a promo back in the day and you had no problem doing it and nobody else really could do it as well as you did, that's not an accident. That's a man that knows how to act. That's a man that has all heart and is able to emote, and that is what made you successful as you transition to the big screen. And we know about Fargo, and we know about all the things that you've done, all the extras you've played. How is that going? I haven't heard an update for quite a while.
I have something coming up, but I can't disclose because that's the contract.
Damn it, you always say that, you bastard.
But you can check me out on Chicago PD. You can find me on Empire. You can rent Chicago Rot on Amazon Prime.
And Fargo, of course.
Yeah, Fargo season 4, episode 1.
So how are you enjoying? I mean, the acting bug, once it bites you, I hear it's very difficult to get away from it. That you want to do it, you're obsessed with it. How has it been for you?
The pandemic's been rough. It's a lot of auditions are coming back, and we're doing a lot of Zoom auditions, so it's very interesting with that. But just keep it rolling, and stuff like that. I just got offered a movie that's going to be filmed in August, so I'm really excited about that.
Will you be traveling to shoot this movie, or is it a local project?
This is a local project. It's a Chicago production.
Nice.
Yeah.
Are people starting to take notice of your work? Because, I've made it a point to see your performances in some of the shows that you've named. And, I really, the camera really likes you, which is why I think you do so well in Chicagoland Championship Wrestling, because when the camera likes you, it always seems to find you at the right time.
It's really funny when, actually, I always find it funny when I find the Chicago PD episode on, I was actually, a fun story. I was getting a sub at Mr. Subs, and I was talking to the guy who was making my subs, and he had Dick Wolf on the TV. And I was like, we were talking. I was like, oh, this is pretty funny. Like, Dick Wolf, Chicago PD. And I look over, I'm like, wait a second. The guy's going to cut a dollar bill in half and give it to Voight. And then that's what happened. He's like, how do you know this? I'm like, this is the episode I'm on. And then a day later it comes on. He's like, oh man, I saw you on Chicago PD, man. I'm like, yeah, that was a fun time. But yeah, it's I like doing both. I appreciate the wrestling aspect. How I got into being a good talker was I used to host open mics in high school. So I was never afraid to talk on a microphone or anything like that. And I did that from age 14 to age 18. And then after playing college football, I pursued theater in college, and then did improv at IO and did some fun stuff from there.
Well, you are one entertaining SOB, and that's why I always enjoy having you on this program, because it's less work that I have to do, because people really enjoy listening to you go over your shtick. You're really good at what you do.
Yeah.
Give me your prediction about June 12th. Talk to me where you see not only the Sin City Playboys, but where you see the whole production going on that date. We're right there. It's happening. We're less than 2 weeks away from ground zero on June 12th.
So I'm probably the only wrestler that gambles professional wrestling. So I'm putting money on for the super heavyweight match. I think it's going to be a close one, but I really do think Jay Cross is going to take it to the Ewok.
I'm as big a Jay Cross fan as anybody, but Ewok's one of those guys that you'd have to kill him to beat him. I think. I don't see any. You have to really. I mean, he'd have to be toe tagged to drop that belt, and I just don't see it.
And then, of course, I'm going to give my friend C-Red the credit. I think he's going to destroy Yo-Ya, his girlfriend, and Yo-Ya's partner,
Pussycat.
The
Pussycat.
The Pussycat. Yeah, the Pussycat. There we go.
Pussycat.
I think they're going to go under the ARC. Outrunners and Youth Gone Wild. Me and Solomon are going to be watching that one for sure, because we're definitely going to see who can go to toe to toe. But
the big tag team tournaments coming that I imagine the Sin City Playboys will be a part of. And those are two teams that could wind up facing you. So that would be a good opportunity to scout one of the hot matches of the night.
Yeah, I'm probably going to give, I'm putting money on Outrunners for that one. And then let's see what else. So
we have Youth Gone Wild on next week. I'll be sure to tell them that you don't have their back on this one.
Oh, no worries. Yeah. I mean, come on. Look at those guys compared to the punks of Chicagoland wrestling. See what also is on the card right now. Of course, we're
just said that about Tommy and Creed. That's unbelievable. Okay, go ahead, continue.
Let's go into Brogun versus Shogun. I think it's gonna be a draw. I think it's gonna be a
champ. You're not your champion.
Nope, I'm not bowing down to the Shogun, and I'm not bowing down to the Brogun, but I think that's gonna be a draw. And then let me see what else.
Marche versus Chris Jones.
Marche versus Chris Jones. That's gonna be a good match.
Marche versus Chris Moore. Sorry about that.
It's Chris Moore. Man, you're gonna have Tribunal up on you all the time.
It never fails. I always screw it up because I get nervous talking about.
I don't think it's gonna be all day's final day. I don't think it's gonna be all day's day. I think Tribunal's gonna get this one. You know, and then if you look at Tribunal versus No Coast, I'll put it this way: I think I think No Coast is gonna take a little victory lap, just like Sin City Playboys are gonna be.
Oh my God! Did you hear what he said, Red? He just besmirched Paragon.
No, I think they're gonna
look at the time, Lord. Look at the time. Lord, I'm not trying to stir the pot. Look at the time.
Tully, before we let you go, tell us what you're doing and what's coming up for you and what you can tell us.
He just told you he can't tell you could do to the contract.
I know anything.
The contract, I can't discuss anything at this time, but you can follow me on Instagram at Tully Bertorelli. If you like to listen to some crazy music and want to and see some trippy stuff, you can look up Billy Club Master Chef on Bandcamp. You can always find me if you just want to give me a follow on Instagram. I'll follow you back. I do have a Facebook, but it's for private purposes only. And yeah, same Tully time, same Tully channel. I'm always here, and I'm going to see you all June 12th, whooping Country Errand, showing the best in the Midwest, Gunner Brave, who really is the best.
Look at that. It's like the camera's loving him. He's right on point.
Why are you talking? Why are you talking?
No, you don't even need to close the show out.
Close the damn show.
You don't even need to close it. Tully just took care of it.
It's over.
So we'll end things like this.
This is the Power Hour with Steve Arnett and C-Red, and I'm Tully Bertorelli. Take care, y'all.
What are you doing? He just ended the show.
Good night, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow night with the ARC. For Tully, I'm Steve. Good night, Power Hour.